Hey everybody, welcome back to Bar Run Forge. It's another Tuesday morning tool video. Today we're going to make a set of large stock tongs. Stick around. Part of the reason why we're making large stock tongs is for things like when we get a billet that's a little bit bigger than what we normally do. I mean, you know, for making a hammer, making an axe, something like that. This is basically the biggest set of tongs we have, and it's just not going to grab it right. We just don't have anything in our stockpile here that will be able to grab a piece like this or bigger. The stock we've taken is 1/2 inch thick by 1.5 inch wide. We're going to try to get both pieces out of this one piece here. So I've kind of drawn it out. We're going to make a bit of a V-bit tong bit here, and then there'll be a distance to get to the boss. The boss is right here, and then we'll work that boss down. We're going to try to do a farrier style. I kind of like the style of that. Again, that's just cosmetic. There's no real purpose for that I know of. And again, we'll try to do the same thing down on this end. I've got punch marks made so we know where we're going to start set downs and things like that. All right, first action is to find my mark here. We're going to come to a slightly radius part of the anvil and just half on, half off, and set this down. Alright, now that we've got this established, we'll put it back in, get it good and hot, and set it down. What this should do for us now, we reduced that down about 2/3. We might could go a little bit further than that, but that gives us the end of the bit, and we'll be able to spread it out and then make our V bit for it. Now we want to pull down another piece of material so we can kind of put that tail that goes toward the bit. Find that mark, one good shot, and then start working it down. Now the thing we want to do is to keep the same thickness in the material, so as we set it down, we'll keep trying to flatten it out, set it down, flatten it out. We have the bit stretched out. You can see there is a different dimension here than there is at the end. We're eventually going to take the peen and spread that out and then make a V-bit there. But we don't want to do that yet because we've got more work to do back here on the boss. And I have changed my mind. I'm not going to do the farrier style. We're just going to take a cube of material and mark that off so we can have our boss. Like you would in any standard tong, come to the far side, you go into your tong hand, find that mark, and set it down. So now that that's established, we'll just keep coming back with the heats and draw that down. That's pretty close to where we want it for now. There'll be some refinement on it later. And we are not going to go ahead and do the bit from this end because we've got some things to do and I don't want that to get in the way. So we'll cool this end down and then we'll work on the other end. Alright, so we got both ends with a boss and a bit. We haven't finished off the bit yet because we're going to go ahead and punch the hole so that the bit is not in our way. Once we get that done, we can reshape, we can even redrift that hole if we need to. And then we'll make our decision as to whether we're going to cut this out or whether we're going to draw the reins out all the way. Alright, now that these two ends are done, what we're going to do is cut down the center here and split into two different reins. Now you can do this a bunch of different ways. You can use an angle grinder, you could use a hot cut chisel, there's a bunch of different ways you could do this, a slitting chisel, any kind of, whatever you want to do to make this happen. It just makes it so where you don't have to draw both of these reins all the way out. You can actually cut them in half and you've got your reins. And then we'll refine them from there. No big deal. The two pieces are separated now. The two things we're going to do right now is we are going to draw the reins out just a little bit more, round them up, make them comfortable in the hand, and then we'll turn our attention over to the bit and the boss just a little bit more. The one has to be drawn out just a little bit more. There's a little bit of a difference in them, so I can tell this one's a little thinner than this one, so we'll draw that out some, try to match them up as best we can, and then we'll work on the bits for the final. far as the reins go, we're going to take these over to the vise and hit them with the hot rasp and kind of smooth them up, get them comfortable in the hand, do some cleanup. Then we'll turn our focus over to the bit. We got the reins drawn out, cleaned them up, and we got the rivet made. We're going to have to cut it to length. So at this point, now we can focus on the bits. And the one bit is a little bit longer than the other. We'll have to draw that out just a little bit. And then we'll take each one of them and spread them here at the jaw and create a V bit right here so we can hold the big stock either square or round. And then we'll clean these up, round them up just a little bit, shape them where they need to be, make a bit of an arc right here, bring the bit in, and put them together. Alright, we'll bring the bit up here into the V-fuller and into the swedge. We'll use the V-fuller and create a nice clean V bit in there so that we can hold that big stock. We'll start it using the cross peen. Alright, we're going to do our set down, which means we're basically going to pick a spot here and put the fuller on, let Eli strike. And there we go. That is our offset, and we'll do that on the other one. We're going to start with the bit and just get it out of the way for a moment. And then bend the up next to the boss, get that bent back so we can bring everything into alignment. And this may take a little bit of back and forth, but we should be able to get it.